wanted to let that bowl ring till almost the end of its chime, because this reading is extremely spiritual and filled with a very important message for Libra in this timeless reading. And I'm beginning with the more light-filled message at the very beginning rather than waiting till the end. I had something very strange happen at the beginning when I was setting up for the reading today that I think is applicable to the reading. I don't pull reversals, and I also try to notice special messages. And I did see, I pulled this out. I keep some crystals around me when I do the reading, so I set them up when I get here. Now, I got this stone last year. It's the partnership crystal. It's the perfect partner. And so it's two crystals stuck together. And the larger one had the top half broken off as I took it out of my bag. And I don't think that's an accident, because I then dropped out the Emperor in reverse. So you'll see what I'm heading towards with this later as I get into the reading, but I wanted to start off by showing that had happened at the beginning. So coming into the reading, this is for Libra. This is Clear Blue Tarot for Libra, timeless reading. The center of the reading, I have the Many Paths card and the Hawk Spirit, which is about trusting in Spirit to be your guide as you set off on a new journey of many paths. And I clarified that with the Peace card. So immediately I thought the way of the peaceful warrior, which is, it's not about fighting, it's about love. So love and peace coming through you and guiding you. And what's crossing you is this Wild Woman card, which I clarified with the Purpose. So there's a bunch of different ways you can look at that. Either your Wild Woman energy is still trying to figure out your purpose, or your purpose embodies use of this Wild Woman energy, which is, freedom and complete heart-led action, beautiful embracing of spirit and heading forward with that kind of free spirit energy. So that could be part of your purpose, is to have that type of energy. And maybe you're a Libra. If you are a Libra watching this and you're not guided to it for another reason, Libras tend to pull back a little from this Wild Woman energy unless you have other stuff in your chart that makes you want to be a very, very free spirit. Most Libras that I've known, their balance keeps them from embracing that fiery energy. So maybe that's part of the challenge, is that is part of your purpose and you're a little bit pulled away from that. Your situation is resting on the Arrow card, which is about setting your sights on your direction you want to go, and then just letting the arrow fly and trusting that you will head where you want to go without over focusing too much on the arrow. You want to focus on your goal, send the arrow, and then just move. And that was clarified by the Ace of Swords, which oftentimes I look at the Arrow card as the Ace of Swords. But when you really think about the meanings, they're different. The Ace of Swords is about clarity. So maybe you've just come into the clarity with your purpose and you are now heading forward on this many paths, on this new journey. And in your recent past, you have the Beaver card, the Beaver Spirit card. And that is about a solid foundation. So perhaps you're ready to set forth because you do have this new grounded, solid foundation within you that leaves you in this feeling of balance to move forward. Your near future, we have the Sun card, which in the Enchanted Tarot is super cute with the two little birdies in front of the sun, and happy, happy, joy, joy, heading into the sun, illumination. And that's clarified again later as well. So you are having a new enlightenment. Your journey is bringing you into this enlightenment, which I think I want to touch now back on what happened here with the breaking of this tip of the crystal. Now, I'm sure crystal people who have more knowledge of crystals might have some other meaning, and I haven't Googled it. I haven't looked up what other people might say about a crystal breaking like that. But to have this larger side crystal lose the top, for me, it's sort of like the same as the Emperor being upside down. It's saying that this strong will, this masculine side, has either had its crown cracked open, which can be as dramatic as, losing your head. You can look at it that way. Maybe there was an Emperor type blockage of will, which again, I'll show you later, it gets clarified at the end as well. So I think perhaps there was a forceful breaking of the crown resistance. Maybe there was a cap of will that was holding back from the crown opening, and now that's been kind of blown out. Because crowning the reading, we have the Patience card, which is Temperance. So that card is about balancing energies and getting things in the proper alignment for a new growth forward into divine guidance, into divine wisdom, into divine timing. So it definitely lets go of the masculine, controlling, Emperor in reverse type of energy of hanging on too hard to control and not wanting to let go and let divine guide you. So at the basis of what's going on inside of you, I got the spider spirit clarified by the focus card from the Doreen Virtue Angel cards. And the spider spirit is about making your dreams real, and the focus card really kind of reminds me of this arrow. So it's an echo there of keeping your focus and making your dreams real by heading that direction without control, letting the road meander with that many paths as well. So what you're seeing, what the outside world is seeing, is the Wheel of Fortune. So it looks like people are noticing that you're having a change of fortune, a change of your life. Something major is coming to an end and a new beginning. The wheels are turning in your favor. And your hopes and fears, you have the hummingbird. So it looks to me like that would be a hope. The hummingbird is all about pure joy and love and living in spirit. So who wouldn't, I wouldn't call that a fear unless you're afraid of good things, which that's always a possibility. But that's that position. And then the final outcome here, we do have the wolf spirit, which is turn knowledge into wisdom. And this means a lot to me this week because I had an incident driving by the woods about 12 years ago, driving by the woods in my town, where I thought it was a wolf. It could have been a coyote. I don't see a ton of wolves in my neighborhood, but we do have a lot of coyotes. But it was either rabid or it was a sign from spirit. It came running out of the woods, ran towards my headlights of my car, and as I drove by was snarling and barking right in the window at this point in the woods. And it really scared me. It was dark out, snarling. I could see the teeth, and it blew my mind. The other night, I was driving by that same section, and I've had tons of owls showing up in my life recently anyways. But right in that same section, an owl flew out, went right by my front windshield, and as I passed, it turned around and went by my back windshield and back into the woods. So an owl basically circled my car as I drove by in that same spot. So the owl turned. Knowledge from this wolf. I've had a lot of things happen in the past 15 years which have grown me up a lot, matured me. Difficult lessons, difficult things have happened that have changed me into a much wiser person. But the wolf brought the knowledge that then the owl had to transform into the wisdom. So that card being there was such a beautiful end, because I understood exactly what it was trying to say. If you've been through a lot of difficult things, it has now changed you into the wiser being that you have inside of you today. And part of what brought you there was this understanding of this guilty feeling that maybe you had some guilt as this knowledge was coming in. There was some guilt about your part in it, and it's time to release that guilt. And this card, I like to read exactly the sentence on them sometimes. It says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So your soul grew through this torment of guilty feelings, and now you can release this guilt. The cards that clarified the guilt in the wolf, I got the Knight of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles. So Knight of Wands, perhaps you used to be much more Knight of Wands personality, fiery, charging forward, and now you've changed through hard work, through lessons, through learning, through development of this 8 of Pentacles energy that has been transformed. Maybe the Knight of Wands was what you had as you were learning this knowledge, and now the wisdom is coming in after you have embraced the craft of the 8 of Pentacles. That's one way of reading it. It could be other ways, but that's what's first and foremost in my mind, so I'm gonna go with that. Now the overall is just, it's the cap. It's this card number 22 from the White Light Oracle. I'm gonna mangle the pronunciation, but it's A Soph Hour. Okay, so this is the image, and that's how I'm saying it. I could be completely wrong, but it's a beautiful card of a woman who has her crown open and is connected to the white light from divine through the crown. And there was so much in this message that I wanted to read. I wanted to read the whole thing, but I won't do that to you. It's I'm going to paraphrase. A way through the struggle has already been created for you, and you are being led onto that path. Your authentic soul path may include recognition and acclaim, notable success and admiration. Be grateful, but do not be dazzled or distracted by such experiences. Focus on what connects you to your heart and grounds you in the simplicity of spiritual truth, which is the practice of love, kindness, and peace. This will allow for successful progress in the material world without disturbing the sanctity of your soul, because all we have is our soul. There's a prayer that I want to read to end this reading. I call upon the pure light of wisdom, compassion, and divine love. I invite the genius of spiritual grace to enter into my heart and, with mercy, clear the path to the highest loving consciousness. I loosen my mental and emotional grip on fixed opinions and open with trust to the higher wisdom and creative path that will set my heart free. May all beings know such merciful grace and generous assistance for their greatest good. Thank you. See you next time.